There are tons of stories about fans who overstep the social boundaries when it comes to meeting their favorite celebrities.
I've had people throw fireworks at my house.
There are incidences when viewers show up to their favorite influencer's home.
Please do not show up at my house and ask me for a picture.
Some parents even drive their kids there. As of recently, a video has gone viral of a fan running up on stage to hug Adam Levine. The sort of disregard for social boundaries between fan and celebrity is theorized to come from something called parasocial relationships. It's this idea that the viewer has formed a one-sided relationship with a media figure, actually feeling like the media figure is their friend. It's become quite the buzzword as of late due to the rise of more personal and less polished content on social media. Many creators have shared their strange encounters with fans and how social media has contributed to this. While all of this is true, I rarely see the discussion flip the other way around. Creators being the ones that actually feel like the viewers are their friend. All hail the algorithm, I'm Donna. This video is a viewer request, which asked me to express my thoughts on the video by William Osman called I'm Done.
I feel unhealthy the way that I exist on YouTube. Like it's not good. I feel like I live in a constant state of like criticism where I do something to entertain people and then there's always negativity that comes back.
Now, the short answer to this message is that we're naturally predisposed to pay attention to negative things. It's helped with survival because if that's what you pay attention to, you can avoid it, etc., etc. In the modern world, though, it can be damaging. Yeah, we've all heard it before. I think there's an even more interesting conversation here, and it's important to note if you ever want to become a YouTuber or any sort of online personality. In fact, if you post anything online. So, Osman is an educational YouTuber who specializes in mechanical and electrical engineering, using those skills for projects like making an X-ray machine, an anti-soggy cereal spoon, and answering questions that have plagued mankind, such as, how much sawdust can you put in a Rice Krispie? Also, one really cool thing too is that he helped with Mr. Beast's Squid Game video. He was the one who made their chests explode when they got eliminated. Fake explode, by the way. Overall, very fun video, and I'd say he's pretty well liked on the platform. So that begs the question, why the title, I'm Done? Now, I'm Done goes into some very solid problems that anyone who posts online will go through. The main gist of the video is that despite getting a majority like ratio from his content, that small percentage of hate still gets to him. And as someone who's been making content on YouTube for 6 years, and I think that's a pretty good amount, I totally get what he's saying. Especially if you have an off day, you can read one bad comment, which might not even be that bad, and your day is just instantly worse. However, I think a lot of specific problems like this comes from the creator falling in love with the viewer. See, someone loves you. Like the viewers who cross social boundaries, some creators kind of do the same thing, but in a different way. I would say though, from being in the space, it's actually the creators who are more unhealthy in this parasocial relationship. Hence why I titled the video this. When you see a fan doing something that's socially inappropriate, like jumping up on stage, it's like a couple of people. The majority of people are logical. They have a creator's merch or posters, but you don't see mobs of people outside their houses all the time. Most fans know this is creepy and wouldn't like if it happened to them. For creators though, man, I've just been seeing videos and tweets that like, you shouldn't be viewing your audience like this. So if you plan to post anything, you're going to need to keep a few things in mind from falling in love with your viewers. You are not their friend, your entertainment. Okay, now logically, I think a lot of creators know this, but it's easier said than understood. Osman goes on to say that when a GoFundMe was made for him, a small number of individuals found a way to criticize it.
When the house burned down, people figured out a way to be judgmental about it. And like that blew my mind. It was the worst time of our lives, and people still somehow figured out how to be negative about it, especially with the GoFundMe.
Every time it looked like he spent money on something, there would be comments like, "Is this what you spent with your GoFundMe money?" A conspiracy video was even made about him being a crisis actor. And so I think this is where creators have to really get into the mindset that they are entertainment. And what happens with entertainment? Like when you're watching a movie, sometimes you'll say some really great things about the film, or sometimes you'll say some really negative things about the film.
Cat got your tongue?
Oh God, no. No. No.
But you don't mean it personally. In fact, you really can't because you don't know the creator or the filmmaker personally. This is where it really gets confusing for the creator, and they start thinking the viewer is taking a personal jab at them. When you share anything vulnerable, it's not really meant for a large audience. It's meant for a friend, someone who will be sympathetic and understanding. This means before you post, you really gotta ask yourself, okay, do I really want to take this vulnerable moment and turn it into entertainment? In the territory of entertainment, there is guaranteed negative criticism. That's just how it works with anything where monetization is based on the advertiser and the audience. And for sure, even though the creator views this as opening up and simply sharing, creators really have to keep in mind that this is not sharing with a friend. This is why I have personally chosen to keep most of my life private. And that's a criticism I get, that I need to share more, but no. I mean, there's obviously a little bit of personalization here because that's what YouTube and social media was built on, but I don't share what I had for breakfast or my favorite color. And you really gotta pick and choose what you can handle criticism on. My favorite color? No. So is it worth turning one part of your life into entertainment in exchange for views? Sharing your relationship, that's gonna get criticized. How you raise your kids, that's gonna get criticized. Your vacation, that somehow is gonna get criticized as well. And people are different. A lot of people are great at handling this type of criticism. I think the Paul brothers, the Trisha Paytases, and the Keemstars, but for the most part, the majority of people aren't. I mean, I guess that's kind of fair. If you monetize off of the thing, you do have to take the bad that comes with it. Now, it doesn't mean that those comments were justified. In fact, they weren't. Those people suck. But at the same time, you're kind of preaching to the choir. 90% of comments on YouTube, at least, know not to be a dick. Osman actually says this in the beginning of his videos. Also, keep in mind, I'm talking about the standard paid comment. If you are getting death threats and stalkers, that's a completely different story. So yes, the viewer does feel like the creator is a friend, but they're also entertainment, and they can cut them off anytime they want to. This is the essence of the parasocial relationship. I'd actually like to know if Osman regrets posting that video, the one where his house burned down. Viewers don't actually like authenticity. The internet is not built for sharing authenticity. I know many of you are going to disagree with me and give me examples of your favorite authentic creator. Hear me out. Most people view authenticity as being unapologetically yourself. You're not putting on a facade for the camera and pretending to be something you're not. A lot of people do this. They post however they're feeling at the moment, their goals, their vacation, their outlook on life, whatever. And it's the truth. For the most part. That definition, though, is not the full definition of authenticity. Think about yourself for a moment. You know that the you right now is not the same you as 2 years ago. Your opinions have changed. You've learned a lot more. Maybe you're in a new relationship. Maybe you left one. Or maybe you've decided to live your dream of becoming a furry. That definition of authenticity does not account for change. To change and grow, you have to behave in a way that deviates from yourself right now. You have to actively act as not yourself. And to give you the simplest example, say all your teen life you've been an emo kid. The way you dress, the music you listen to, and even your friends. And you hit your 30s and you're just not feeling it anymore. You want to dress a little preppier. That first couple of times you change your look, it's gonna feel fake. Other people may even call you fake because they're not used to seeing you that way. Over time though, that fake you becomes the new you, and your friends get used to it, etc., etc. And that was the story of Anthony Padilla. Now, if the thing you changed though was something negative, it's going to be a big deal because true authenticity is impossible to communicate on the internet. Say you make some bad jokes in your past, but those jokes aren't connected to any sort of crime presently. That's the key part, not connected to any part of crime. You were just dumb and ignorant back then, but now, that's the kind of stuff you'd never say. To a friend who's completely been with you the whole time and has seen your journey, this is most likely fine. They've seen the change in you. In the internet world, you record that whole journey online, and unfortunately, it's not fine. I think you're supposed to experience someone's authenticity in a very linear way and also not so visceral. You're not supposed to see a video of bad things they've done. With cell phones and algorithms, your whole journey is served up in parts. You can be shown a tweet when they were younger and insecure about their lives. You could be shown a rant in their late 20s about injustice. Whatever thing you see from that person, you're gonna think and just feel that that's them now, when in reality, it may not be. So a lot of people see that bad thing and want to hold them accountable when they may have already shifted out of that phase and processed through it. Many creators have realized this, that it's impossible to have authenticity on the internet, in that way at least. During the time Jenna Marbles left the internet because of past jokes, many creators deleted videos worth millions of views off their channel. Do you think that's a coincidence that it was almost all at the same time? Probably not. The mantra, I keep content I'm not proud of online because I want to show how much I've grown, no longer applies because of how big social media has gotten. So a creator may put their heart and soul into a thing and think, man, my viewers are really gonna get this. I'm being authentic. I'm sharing myself. But remember, your entertainment. I think that messes with a lot of creators because a lot of what they post is personal and based on their lives. They turn their personal lives into entertainment, and when the audience unfollows or doesn't watch the video, sometimes they can take it pretty personally. By nature though, entertainment is seasonal. Typically, TV shows and movie franchises have their run and they end. People naturally get tired of a thing. Again, not like a friendship. Yeah, some friendships do end, but the end of a show is not the same as the end of a friendship. And so a lot of creators will open up about the lack of viewership they're getting, or how the viewer is just not the same anymore, resulting in no views. But if a trend has been pushed in our faces and has been oversaturated, zombie movies, we're going to want to see something different. No matter what content you post, the viewer will eventually get tired of it. That's definitely confusing for the creator if what they post is based on their looks or their life. I just see a lot of people equating this to viewers not liking them anymore. Sucks. Social media may not be for you. I think that's a lot harsher than it sounds, but it's actually a very good thing. The great thing about probably 99% of all the personalities on these platforms is that there is a non-social media version of it. That means you could do the same thing or a very similar thing just without recording it or being judged for it. You could always go the traditional route when it comes to acting and filmmaking.
Action and dummy!
This machine is making a sound and vision recording.
Of course, there is still criticism there because it'll be displayed to an audience, but I'd say not as much as social media.
I get paid to sit there, and then I get to give them lousy reviews.
You don't need a whole personal brand of being a filmmaker. Peter McKinnon is a great YouTuber who teaches you about filmmaking and photography, but if this isn't the route for you, don't feel pressured to take it. Mr. Beast, the non-social media version of what he does would probably be content marketing. How do we make short, appealing videos for a brand that will live on TikTok or Instagram? We have entrepreneurial YouTubers here, don't necessarily need to share everything in their life. There are obvious jobs like doctor, therapist, and lawyer. So anyway, if you are thinking of entering the social media space, you really gotta remember to set boundaries for yourself and the audience. By doing this, you won't fall in love with the viewer. That's the end of the video. I'll see you guys next time. Stay psyched.